Hello again. This is Mike from Prep2Survive.com, and if you haven't watched any of our other videos, just want to take a quick second to introduce myself. But today, I want to address something that we've gotten a lot of emails about, and it's kind of it can be overwhelming. Prepping in general can be very overwhelming, and so we've gotten a lot of emails of people asking, where do I start? How do I begin? Should I go out and buy a year's worth of food, or go buy guns, or all these different things? And when you start looking at the price tag of stuff, it starts racking up really quick. So I'm going to break it down to you to where it can hopefully assist you in the right direction. By all means, one plan isn't good for everybody as far as budget and those sorts of things, and every situation is different. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing, forgive me, I have some notes, so I just want to make sure I don't forget anything. But the first thing is that I feel is the most important is to have that 72-hour kit. We talked about it before, our bug out bag video, but you can't survive long without certain things. Water, being the most important thing. So starting out with a 72-hour kit or a bug out bag is, I would think, the first step. After that is knowledge. You can have every GPS device, cool guy, AR-15 with an ACOG and all these different cool guy things. But if you don't know how to use them and you're not proficient with them, then they're worthless. They're paperweights. So, that's, in my opinion, is probably one of the most important things, is having knowledge. Because a lot of people will tell you that you should have all the food and water, all these things. They start talking about heirloom seeds. They start talking about medical supplies, all those things. But if you've never grown anything in your life, and you have a bunch of seeds, you might not be very successful at it. I mean, there's a lot of things involved with growing things. Me, myself, I'm not good at growing things, but I know people that are. Which brings me to my next point. If you don't have a certain knowledge base and it's very time intensive, sometimes it's better to find a subject matter expert. It's really easy to band together with groups of people that are like-minded. Maybe they're interested in prepping. Maybe you know about firearms and somebody else knows about growing things, and you can get with that group, and you might be able to find a mechanic or somebody that's good with construction, somebody that has a medical background, somebody that knows how to grow things, somebody that's proficient with firearms, all those different things. If you have a subject matter expert in each of these, it's really easy for somebody that's very knowledgeable on a topic to teach it to other people. So that's one thing you can do. It's get with a really good group of people and prep together. Just a thought. Another, if you, some people, they're a little more reluctant to prep with other people because they don't want people to know that they prep. Maybe they're embarrassed about it. They don't want people to think they're conspiracy theorists or anything like that. But this was done by a friend of mine, David Morris. It's called the Urban Survival Guide. And I've gone through it probably about 4 or 5 times, and really, the way he explained it to me is reading something without practicing it or putting it into practice, your retention level is very low. Obviously, some people that read a lot, it's going to be better, but what works best for anybody when they read something is to put it into practice. But what's great about this is each chapter, it basically gives you tasks, and then at the end there's a quiz or a checklist to where you go through and you go down the checklist. And so by the time you're done with the book, you have a very, very good prep in place. So I would highly suggest it. Get a hold of it. I'm sure that you might know some people that have talked about it online. Really, really, really good program that he's put together. So that's one thing you can look at. As far as that goes, that's really it. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and take it with a grain of salt. But really the key is a good 72-hour kit is going to take care of you for a little while. Anything that lasts, any emergency that lasts a long period of time, you're going to have a lot bigger things to worry about. But the big thing is going to be your safety. After a couple weeks, and supplies, grocery stores start to run out. Those sorts of things. You start to have bigger issues to worry about. You're not going to be growing crops in your backyard when people are going through houses looting. So once again, get with a group, have a plan B, have a plan C. In the military, we call it Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So make sure you stay fluid. Don't get locked in one frame of mind and down one track, and then whenever something happens that messes up your plan, you're lost or confused. Just stay fluid. If something isn't going the way it should, adapt. Adapt to the situation and overcome it. And that's probably the best advice I can give you is don't get stuck in any one frame of mind. But once again, just a quick recap: 72-hour kit for each person in your family. Knowledge, spin up on your knowledge as much as possible. Get with a group if you can, and and share knowledge, or make a plan as a group that you're going to bug out as a group or survive in place as a group or whatever. Good thing to keep in mind: urban environments is about 50% of the population in the United States lives in about roughly 20 major metropolitan areas. Long-term emergency, might not want to stay in those urban environments. There's a lot of things that can happen as far as gangs and looting, those sorts of things. Good radius to get away from a city. And this is just a rule of thumb, by no means science, but about 200 miles, just because the range of most vehicles, tanks of gas, those sorts of things. But yeah, that's about it. I hope this helped out. If you have any more questions or want us to address any other things, by no means is this all inclusive, and this is just kind of my personal belief. But send us a message, and we'd be more than happy to do a video about it, or expound on any one area that we've talked about. Once again, Mike from Prep2Survive.com. Swing by our YouTube channel if you haven't watched some of our other videos, and make sure you enter for our monthly giveaway. We have a lot of great products on our site, Prep2Survive.com, and we try to price them very, very reasonably. But thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.